Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. Try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services just like Netflix. Today I got a special video for you guys. Today I'll be ranking all of the Cobra Kai Season 5 characters from worst to best in a tier list. Head over to tiermaker.com and make your own tier list for the Cobra Kai Season 5 characters. This will contain spoilers. It's been out over the weekend, so I will spoil certain character outcomes and relationships that do develop. There are 22 characters that I put on this list, and if they're not on the list, I don't think that they were that significant within the story or just didn't have that much of a screen time in the series. So we're going to start off I don't think they're in alphabetical order or anything. Just like a bunch of random characters. We're going to start off here with Carmen Diaz. She has a lot more to do within this series. She becomes closer with Johnny and Daniel and Amanda. She's pregnant now with Johnny's child, so there's a lot more for her to do. She's very nurturing and welcoming. I love that about her, and she's there to protect Miguel and everything. I still feel like she's just kind of there in the background. She's not that significant to the story, but I still like the character, so I'm going to put her in the C category here. Next, we got Kreese. He spent the whole series in jail, and he had some moments where he was talking about his background and his history, and I think he was trying to win over the person he was talking to get out of jail, and then he broke out of jail at the end just because they didn't do much with him besides keeping him in jail and having some conversations with Tori Nichols over here, and a moment with Daniel and Johnny. I'm going to put him in the C category just because they didn't do much with him. And I think if they would have had him more within the series or had some more depth given to him, I think would have been up here a little bit. But we're going to put him down here in the C category. Chozen, I really liked Chozen. At times he added comedic value to the series. He was great in the fight sequences. He was ready to take on Terry Silver head on. I love that about him. He's probably one of my favorite characters in here. I'm going to put him in the A category. He made me laugh quite often in the epic battle sequences and the epic fight scenes as well. He was there to provide a lot, and I like that about Chozen, and he was one of my favorites in here. Next, we got Johnny Lawrence. I liked Johnny in this series, especially when he was trying to deliver food and be able to provide for his upcoming child, and learning what it takes to be a father again, and protecting Robby and Miguel. He's one of my favorite characters within this series. He's definitely has changed throughout the series. I'm going to put him in the S category. There's a lot of development for him, and his views have changed significantly from that first season. So with that development, I think he deserves the top tier, the S for me. I personally, one of my favorite characters in this show. Next, we got Kim Dayun. I'm sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. She is someone that Terry Silver brings over and opens up more Cobra Kai locations. She's fierce. She's ruthless. She pushes the teenagers to the limit. There's not much I know about her, but she's very intimidating, more so than Terry Silver at times. And so I like that about this character, is that she's pushing these characters in the wrong way. I'm going to go ahead and put her in the B category. If I knew a little bit more about her, maybe that's just the mystery of the character, that you don't know much about her and she's just coming in and pushing these kids. But I like that how she added to Cobra Kai and made Cobra Kai just feel like they needed to be shut down immediately. Stingray comes back in this series, and he's loving the life he lives right now. Terry Silver is taking care of him, but there's a certain part where he realizes what he's doing is wrong. And there's some cool scenes at the end when he helps out Daniel and Amanda and Johnny and all of them. I feel like there was times where his character was very brief in the middle half and then brief at the end as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in the put him in the B category because he's still pretty fun. I love that he loves karate and will just stop at nothing to be part of something. I like that about him. Terry Silver. Terry Silver was ruthless in here in more ways than one. Very intimidating, knew what he wanted. We had a lot of backstory for him, and his philosophy in wanting to create Cobra Kai. I'm going to go ahead and put him in the A category. He creates this atmosphere in season 5 that Cobra Kai needs to be stopped, and he is at the top of it all. And I love that. It's going to be interesting how they handle season 6 with Kreese out of jail and then Terry Silver within jail. So I'm curious to see what they'll do. Next, we got Samantha. I feel like a lot of these characters in this whole row, I'm looking at them and looking back at season 5, there were so many storylines competing for each other. And I didn't think a lot of the characters had the most development. It was mainly focused on Terry Silver, Johnny, and Daniel LaRusso. Everybody else felt like they had very brief storylines in here. And so you're going to see a lot of these characters, unfortunately, hit the B and C category. I don't think anybody's going to be in the D category. But with that being said, let's talk about Samantha. She is struggling with what happened at the end of season 4. For a good half of the series, she doesn't want to be involved with karate at all. She's struggling with her relationship with Miguel, so she kind of takes a step back in the season. I'm going to go ahead and put her in the B category. I still really like her. She changes a little bit in the middle half of the series and then starts to learn about... And she starts to learn more about karate and being involved with things and protecting yourselves. I like that little shift at the end, but for the most part, she's just kind of there. Next up, we got Kyler. Not much about Kyler other than the fact that he just wants to be like the top person in Cobra Kai and will push people around and still bully everybody. Kyler is just... he's a bully, and there's not really much to him. I like the scenes when... Payne starts to take over and starts to push Kyler around. So Kyler, I don't know much about him, and he's just kind of there in the background. Next up, we got Amanda. Amanda does a lot more in here, and she starts to look more at her relationship with Daniel. Daniel is just so focused on Terry Silver to the point where it's starting to ruin their relationship. And she starts to question, Daniel and his motives and everything. Then she learns more about Terry Silver from a friend, and then she, starts to think more about the relationship. I like her in here, and they created a realistic relationship, and the development of them was pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and put her in the B category. I like that she, she doesn't know any of the karate. She's not fighting anybody, but she's there. She'll stand up for her family, and she steps in. Next up, we got Tori. I still like Tori, but she's struggling with the fact that she learns that Terry Silver paid off the ref for the fight at season 4, and she's talking to Kreese a lot. But you can just tell within her that she doesn't want to be in Cobra Kai anymore, and we see that at the end. But for the most part, she's just there contemplating everything. Like, she's thinking a lot about stuff, but we really don't see any actions from that towards the end. So I'm going to put her in the B category. Daniel LaRusso. He was obnoxious a little bit in the beginning of the series, and it just had to do with Terry Silver, like, having his hand in everything. But he was a little bit like Johnny Lawrence in the beginning of the Karate Kids movies, and breaking into people's houses and randomly fighting people, and he's just so nervous about what Terry Silver is going to do. It really shows how Terry Silver is as a character. But Daniel LaRusso had this change towards the middle half, and when we had some, past conversations with Mr. Miyagi and him realizing things, how he's acted, he's changed. And so for the first 4 or 5 episodes, he was really obnoxious, but he changed. And unfortunately, I can't put him in the S category. I think he's just going to stay here in the A category. Hector Salazar, which was Miguel's father, I thought they would do something else with that. I thought they would do more with the character. He seemed pretty intimidating, but they just got rid of that storyline. So I'm going to put him in the D category. just because we don't know much about him, that he has a family and he's Miguel's father, but they just kind of throw that storyline to the wayside really early on. Next up, we got Robby. I like Robby, and he's kind of had an up and down roller coaster with the whole series. He started off with Miyagi-Do, and now he's with Cobra Kai, and then he's just nowhere and wants to help people out. And he's really had this kind of off and on relationship with Kenny. He wants to protect him, and then he's trying to strengthen relationship with Miguel, since Johnny is going to have a child that will be brother of each of these boys here. And so Robby, I like him, but they didn't really do much with Robby other than him trying to kind of step in and help people out. I feel like his character was just very limited and just kind of in the background for most of the series, and I think it's going to be a lot about most of these characters. Hawk, still like him. He's still very cool, but just kind of there in the background. And after the season 4, I thought they would do a lot more with him. He steps up at the end, has the fight, but like many episodes, where's Hawk? I don't know. And that's the same for like most of these characters here. Kenny, I think Kenny can have a chance to become a strong character in the 6th season. He just truly believes in himself, and he has come a long way. He's strong, and he's a good fighter, and he knows what he wants, and he's not afraid to step up and speak his mind. And so his character has really changed. I could easily see him moving up and becoming a stronger character in the next few seasons. Miguel, once again, much like all of these main characters who had so much to do in the previous seasons, felt like he was just there. Him struggling to become friends with Robby, and then him now going to have a little brother or sister with because Johnny, and then him breaking up with Samantha. It's just kind of back and forth. They want to start something strong, and then they forget about it, and it's just kind of weak writing for most of these characters that are in the B category here. Next up, we'll go with Anthony Larusso. He'll go in the C category. Doesn't really speak much. He's just kind of there. You could tell he wants to be a part of everything, and he's just not as confident as the other characters. He's just kind of just soaking things in, and I think he's still trying to recover from the past season, and he's still being bullied now. That he was the bully, but he's being bullied now. So, you know, his character can go up from here. It's just not really much to him. He just kind of stands there and tags along with everybody. Next up, we got Mike Barnes. Cool few moments with him in his first introduction with Daniel, and a little fight scene there, and it was some misunderstanding. And at the end, when Chozen and Johnny get drunk, and then Mike Barnes is the one who's driving the limo and then takes them to Terry Silver's house. That was pretty cool. So cool little throwback to the original film. So I'm going to put Mike Barnes here in the C. It was fun. There wasn't really any depth to it. Mitch, he's just there, doesn't really do much. They kind of just thrown him off to the side for most of the series. And same for Demetri as well. They're not main characters within the series. They're just reoccurring characters, and they're just don't do much within the season. Just they like being part of the group, but they don't really contribute much to it. So I'm just going to keep them here in the C category. And then last we have Devon Lee, who was part of Eagle Fang, and then now she's joining Cobra Kai. She wants to take over Tori's spot. They kind of ramp up that storyline at the end of the season, and so her character is trying to play catch up to where everybody else is, and there's trying to add a lot of development at the end. And this character here believes that Tori is going to be like the leader of Cobra Kai, but then she wants to be the leader, and then once Tori steps away from all of that, she's just kind of thrown into it. She's a good fighter, but there's not much to her, unfortunately. I think that, you know, next season she could be here. So ranking the characters, Hector stays at the end, and then I'm going to throw Kyler last here, and then Demetri, then Mitch, And then we'll go Anthony, Mike, Devon, Kreese, Carmen. That's fine there. Then we'll keep Hawk there. Then we'll put Amanda there. And then this character here. Then Stingray here. And then we will put Tori here. And then Samantha, Robby. We'll keep Daniel, Terry, and then Johnny Lawrence. So there you guys have it. All of the characters ranked worst to best for Cobra Kai Season 5. I'm sure I missed a couple characters. I just didn't think that they were that significant in terms of the storyline for all of Season 5. I am excited for Season 6 and what it does bring. If some of these characters become stronger or weaker, if they add in new characters. Leave your ranking down below. How would you rank all of the characters? I think there's 22 in here. Let me know in the comment section down below. Who's your favorite character and who's your least favorite character in Season 5? Stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.